1, 2, 3, come on!
Hello, my dear students! Welcome to our arts lesson for today. Hope you're doing fine right now. And for today, let's travel again to Southeast Asia. And we will study their arts and crafts. Since our topic for today is all about the arts of Southeast Asia, that comprises the different countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, Myanmar, Vietnam, Lao PDR, Brunei, and Singapore. And our learning competencies and code for this lesson are: Number 1. Analyzes elements and principles of art in the productions of arts and crafts inspired by the cultures of Southeast Asia. Number 2. Identifies characteristics of arts and crafts in specific countries in Southeast Asia like the Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, Singapore, and so on. We will review first the elements of arts and the principles of arts and design. We will always remember that the principles of arts and design arranges the elements of art into a composition, and the elements of arts are a lot of the ingredients of a recipe of an artwork. For today, I will bring you back to your grade 7 elements of arts and principles of arts design to refresh your knowledge. What do you think is the common thing that you can notice? Yes, it's line. And artwork are made up of different lines. Each of these pictures shows similar thing, but one main idea that differentiates them is how the artist used lines in that artwork. Line is one of the 7 elements of arts. Among them are the shape, color, texture, form, value, and space. These 7 elements are the building blocks of all art and are a great way to start in analyzing or interpreting a work of art. Line is a point created when one object moves from one point to another. In the visual art, line can be horizontal, vertical, diagonal, straight, curve, or freeform. They can be thick or thin, light or dark. Sometimes, when line can be all of these things, it will create an art. What quality do you see in this line? How would you describe them? Every artist has its unique way of applying these lines. It's one way of expressing our individual style. The next element of the art is the shape. When the beginning of a line connects with its own ends or intersect along with another, it creates shape. Shapes are enclosed in two-dimensional space That means depth, length, and width. They are always flat. There are countless shapes that we can divide into two main categories: geometric shapes and organic shapes. Geometric shapes can be determined mathematically. They are known as regular shapes. They always have a specific name, such as circle, square, or rectangle, and they can't be often seen in nature. The second category of shape is the organic shape. It can be found in the nature like leaves or water. They are irregular, really curvy. We have names for specific organic shapes such as stars, moon, or heart, but most of them doesn't have a name. The third element of art is the color. Color is created when light strikes an object and reflects back into your eyes. All colors comes from the three primary colors, and it can also be seen in black and white. The primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. You can now make a primary color. Primary colors are mixed together to create another colors, like the secondary colors. The secondary colors are combinations of two of the primary colors in equal amounts. Red plus yellow equals orange. Yellow plus blue equals green. And blue plus red equals purple. Tertiary colors are combination of primary color and secondary color. When you are making a tertiary color, the primary color is always named first, such as red-orange and yellow-orange. Altogether, they form a color wheel. The color wheel organized a color. The circle shows the relationship between the colors. The next element is the texture. Texture is something that feels or looks like, or as if you might feel, as if it was touched. The feelings of textures are hard or soft, rough or smooth, matte or glossy. Texture can be actual or implied. You can create a texture for a person to actually feel on the artwork surface. Or you can use drawing technique to make a flat artwork appear to be textured. Another element of art is the form. Form must have a height, width, and depth. It's three-dimensional. There are two types of form: the geometric form and the organic form. The geometric form has a specific name such as cone, cubes, or pyramid. They are typically man-made, while the organic form don't have a specific names. Forms can be created in actual or implied way. In actual way, some freestanding sculpture taking three-dimensional space so they can be viewed from any angle. And for the implied way, some other sculpture consists of sculptural three-dimensional elements attached to a solid background. Another element of art is the value. Value is how light or dark a color looks like. It is used to break an object like a three-dimensional. The value scale shows you the value of white to black. Tint is a color mixed of white. So we can see red becomes pink and blue becomes light blue. In value, there is also shade. Shade is a color mixed with black. Tone is also present in value because tone produced by mixing a color with gray. See, you can change the value of the color through tinting, shading, and toning. And the last element of art is space. Space is the area where artwork is placed. It can be within an artwork like a drawing or a painting, and also contains surrounding area of artwork. There are three types of space. We have the positive, negative, and white. Positive space is created in the areas that are occupied by an object, and the negative space can be seen around the object. And the white space are created space between the objects. Using the space of the object is what we call composition. Depending on how you use the space, we can fill it. It's either a crowded, open, orderly, chaotic, or playful. Artist uses several techniques to create the illusions of space within the two-dimensional artwork. Relative size, varying use and values, contrast of focus and blur, overlapping, different placement, and the use of one or two perspective gives the three-dimensional of space. Perspective is a volume of space or three-dimensional object on a flat surface. On a parallel line, extend from an object and meet together on a horizontal line, that is a vanishing point. A drawing has a one-point perspective when it contains only one vanishing point on a horizontal line. A two-point perspective uses two vanishing points on a horizontal line. And we can create now something interesting artwork through various activities. The principles of arts and designs. Number 1 is the rhythm. Rhythm is the repetition of the elements of art and pattern. Rhythm is made when something in the artwork repeats itself to create a pattern. Notice how the artist uses a series of black and white shapes to create a spiral pattern in this artwork. Number 2 is the emphasis. Emphasis is one part of an artwork is dominant over other parts. To use emphasis is to create a strong difference in one part of the artwork compared to the other parts. This artist used a different color to set one object apart from the others. The third one is the balance. Balance equalizing visual forces or elements in an artwork. We have 3 different types of balance. Number 1 is the symmetrical balance, number 2 the asymmetrical balance, and number 3 is the radial balance. Symmetrical balance is when objects in the artwork are balanced evenly. The second balance is the asymmetrical balance. It is when objects are balanced unevenly. And the last one is the radial balance. It is when objects are balanced in a circular or radial manner. In this artwork, the artist creates an artwork that is both symmetrical and radial. The objects are evenly positioned side to side, and they even to be creating a circular movement. Proportion and unity in art is how the element of pieces is combined to create balance and harmony. In order to achieve this unity of art, there must be the balance and harmony with the 7 elements of arts. Unity can be achieved through repetitive and simplicity. Unity is like a visible clue. It would tell the pieces that they belong together. Example of unity includes shape, pattern, and contrast. Pattern is the consistent repetition of the elements with a composition of art. It must be consistent, exact repetition in order for it to be pattern. The next principle of art is contrast. Contrast is extreme. It's an opposite. The bigger the difference between the two things, the higher the contrast. It's just like there's an up and down, far or near, loud or soft. The last principle is the movement. In visual, movement is used by the artist to direct the viewer through the artwork. It can be directed along lines, edges, shapes, and color. Movement is the design principles that uses some of the elements of art to produce the look of action or to convey the viewer's eye to sweep over the work of a certain manner. So now, that's how the elements of arts and principles of arts and designs connects with our lessons for today. So students, if you have your module right now, you may take a look at it, or even if you don't have your module for this lesson, don't worry, because I will give all the information about the arts and crafts of Southeast Asia. All you have to do, of course, is to take down notes, okay? Are you ready? Because we are now leaving Philippines and we will fly to Southeast Asia to study the arts and crafts of Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, Myanmar, Vietnam, Lao PDR, Brunei, and Singapore. So now, let's start learning about arts of Southeast Asia. Indonesia. Wayang kulit is a puppet shadow play performed around the Indo-Malayan archipelago, tracking back its origin to India. Wayang, a modern Indonesian language, means show or perform. Others say that wayang is also attributed to Indonesian word bayang, which means shadow. Wayang kulit is also derived from a Javanese Hindu-Buddhist tradition, where handcrafted leather puppets depict epic stories of the gods in shadow. The show. The puppets are moved behind a cotton or line screen by dalang, or a puppet master, in a shadow puppet play. The best shadow play is based on two epic stories from Indonesia, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. We have next is the Malaysia, the wall kite. In Malay is a uniquely designed Malaysian kite. Its wings are similar to an Arabic letter pronounced wow. Kite making tradition comes naturally to Malaysian people. Farmers used kites as scarecrows in the fields and as a mean lull their children to sleep. Now, flying kite has become a popular sport not just in Malaysia but also international. Pasar Gadang, an international kite festival, a Malaysian One Kite Festival. Thailand, featuring the Sky Lantern Festival. Sky lanterns made out of rice paper with a bamboo frame, which contain a fuel cell or small candle. They are used during the year for festivals, and also commonly called as wish lanterns, Loy Krathong Festival, the most popular festival held on the 12th full moon, usually in November. Myanmar Arts and Crafts. Tapestry. One of Myanmar arts and crafts is mainly originated in Mandalay and famous souvenir. Myanmar tapestry involves in intricate weaving of colored threads with applique work and lavish embellishment with gilded materials and semi-precious gems to yield a picture. Since Myanmar produces good quality thick wood, lavish embellishment with wood carvings can be seen at the religious buildings and hotels. In Mandalay, ancient brass molding factories produce innumerable Buddha images and other decorative objects. Another country is the Vietnam. Silk painting is one of the popular forms of art in Vietnam, favored for the mystical atmosphere that can be achieved with the medieval. Typically showcase the countryside landscape, pagodas, historical events, or scene of daily lives. Another country is the Laos. Making paper. Laotian makes paper by hand in the wider region for over 700 years using the bark of the local sa or mulberry tree. Sa paper uses for calligraphing, making festive temple decorations, umbrellas. It is also used to create lampshades, writing paper, greeting cards, and bookmarks. Now let's go to Brunei. Songkok is a cap widely worn in Indonesia, Brunei, Malaysia, and Singapore. Songkok is mostly worn by male Muslim in formal situations such as wedding feasts, funerals, or festive occasions such as the Muslim Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. Sungkok or kopa, a type of cup made from velvet. Singapore is South Asian in its ethnicity and quite Western in its sensibilities. What this results in is an interesting menu where the entry might be a racing musical, the main course a fulsome helping of the ancient stylized Chinese opera, and the festive lion dance scene on the streets as follows. So, we are done now with our lesson. So, let's now have an evaluation. Activity number 1, entitled Find Me. Match the picture with its country of origin. Activity number 2. Make a kite of your own, which inspired from the different countries of Southeast Asia, using or applying the elements of arts and the principles of arts. Okay, you may answer this in your module, but if you don't have a module right now, you may use this template and put your answer in a long coupon band and compile this for the submission. So, good luck everybody and enjoy making your own kite.